Good morning. This is Mark Lefebvre from the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District with this week's Conservation Report. This morning I'd like to summarize the results of 4 years of tillage research conducted by the University of Minnesota Extension that recently wrapped up. And I realize that it's hard to explain a lot of details of research over the radio, but if you have questions, you can always give me a call, or you can go to the University of Minnesota Extension's Soil Management and Health website for more details. So, to start out, we know that a variety of tillage practices have been used since the beginning of agriculture. Proper tillage warms and dries the soil, kills weeds, incorporates fertilizer and manure, and breaks up compacted layers. On the downside, tillage breaks apart soil aggregates, creating smaller sized particles that can lead to soil erosion, crusting of the soil surface, hard pans, water quality issues, and over time, a decrease in soil organic matter. 100 years ago, there were few choices of tillage tools. However, in the past 25 years, there has been an upsurge in the configurations of shanks, discs, and shovels that till the soil at different depths and aggressiveness levels. These new tools impact soil warming and drying and may ultimately affect crop yield. Less tillage on cropland allows the soil to take in more intense rainfalls before runoff begins, thereby reducing soil loss. Advantages to the crop producer include better economics, less wear and tear on equipment, better water holding capacity of the soil, improved biological populations, and diversity in the soil. However, concern about yield reductions due to cool and wet soil conditions may limit adoption of reduced tillage systems for corn and soybean rotations on poorly drained soils that dominate much of Minnesota and North Dakota. So, to better understand these issues, a multi-state effort involving University of Minnesota Extension, North Dakota State University, and the Minnesota and North Dakota corn and soybean commodity groups set out to evaluate which tillage approach maximizes early season warming and crop yields while at the same time improving soil health in the Red River Valley. The tillage systems included in the research were chisel plow, vertical tillage, strip till with shanks, and strip till with coulters. So in 2014, studies on 2 farms near Barney, North Dakota, and Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and a third in 2015 near Morton, North Dakota, were established. These farms ranged in soil series from sandy, loamy, and clay textures, providing local farmers with a realistic picture of low tillage impacts on their own acreage. Full-scale equipment was used in farmers' fields. I know that these fields are a long distance from Stearns County, but I think this research is still relevant because of the variety of soils included in the research. So here are some of the findings. During each spring and early summer, the chisel plow and strip till berms consistently had the driest and warmest soil conditions. These were followed by the areas between the strip till berms and vertical tillage. And then finally, no-till had the wettest and coolest conditions. Most notably, these drying and warming differences among the tillage practices were greatest at the farm with the sandy soils, moderate at the farm with the loamy soils, and minimal at the farm with clay soils. As the surface of these clay soils dry, it's likely that moisture is more readily replaced by the capillary rise of deep water than what occurred in the sandy soils. The trends in soil moisture and temperatures did not cause any differences in soybean or corn plant populations, growth, or even yields. Soybean yield was not affected by tillage at any of the farms during the 4 growing seasons, except on the farm with the sandy soil in 2018. At that farm, both strip tills with shanks or coulters yielded 3.7 bushels per acre more on average than the chisel plow or shallow vertical tillage. Yield differences were observed in corn in some years, but these differences were not consistent year to year, farm to farm, or among the tillage practices. Instead, benefits or consequences to corn yields were explained by whether timely fertilizer application and placement was done, or whether soil conditions were too wet for proper tillage operation. This data from the research shows that crop producers can do less tillage, leave more residue on the surface, while maintaining their yields. If you're interested in making changes to your tillage system, we do offer financial assistance programs like EQIP to help offset the cost of adoption. This might be something to consider if you didn't get tillage done on some of your acres with the wet and frozen soil conditions this fall. If farmers want more information about tillage options, they can contact the Soil and Water Conservation District at 320-251-7800 extension 3, or better yet, you can attend the Conservation Tillage Conference right here in St. Cloud at the Holiday Inn on December 17th and 18th. The University of Minnesota Extension is partnering with Stearns County SWCD and the Minnesota Office of Soil Health to host the 2019 Conservation Tillage Conference. The early bird registration ends on December 2nd, so don't wait too long if you want to save $40. The easiest way to register is online by searching 2019 Conservation Tillage Conference. This is really a great opportunity to get some practical, hands-on information that will save you soil, time, fuel, and money. I've been involved in some of the planning of this event, and we really tried to get a mix of topics and speakers, not just about tillage, but also cover crops, soil fertility, soil health, economics, weed management, and even grazing. And there will be what we call table talks and a farmer panel that you can learn from other farmers that have adopted different tillage practices. So I hope to see a lot of Stearns County farmers attend, since it's right here located in Stearns County. That wraps up my report this morning, and this has been Mark Lefebvre from the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District with your conservation report, and thanks for listening this morning.